folks are looking at Solid.js and Solid Start as a high-performing alternative to React and Next.js. I had the distinct privilege of talking with Ryan Carniato, the creator of Solid.js, at the recent JS Nation in Amsterdam. Here's the full interview. Let's get right into it. All right, Mr. Carniato, the creator of Solid. How are you?
I'm pretty good. I'm pretty energized. This has been an incredible event here.
Isn't it though?
Yeah.
Just talking to everybody is just, it's like energetic. It's just so energizing, yes.
Yeah, no, so many people here, so many different like sub-communities and communities, so many people building really cool stuff. I'm always pretty excited to have a chance.
Yeah. So, okay, you're the Solid guy, but you're at a React conference.
To be fair, I spoke at JS Nation yesterday, which
sure.
is a more general JavaScript conference, but then they were gracious enough to let me also come to the React conference.
Okay.
So
there you go.
Works pretty well for me.
That's awesome. Okay, so do you think, in a way, that Next.js going to 13.4 with the app router has opened up essentially like an opportunity window for other frameworks?
I mean, this whole move to React Server Components probably has. It's a big shift. I've been talking about it for a little while. I am actually pretty excited about this shift, but it is a big shift. It affects ecosystems. It affects which libraries you use. It actually changes a lot of things. In some ways, I would say like it's almost like you took a new framework and wrapped the existing React like with it.
Yeah.
Or like so like
that's a great way to think about it.
From that perspective, we're in a whole new territory, and if you're in that place where you're like, hey, what's out there, which has been happening a lot, people will look at other solutions that can also offer comparable experiences.
Right. And I mean, if you think about it, right, you can't really use the off-the-shelf components anymore because the component libraries use context, and they have some issues, obviously, with RSCs and rendering those components. And the state management story is now really muddled because of React Server Components. And so essentially, like, you're left with just Tailwind and some routing. And if you want to go with Solid, like there's Solid Start, and you're basically in the same position. I mean, I think actually Solid has a bit more of an ecosystem advantage at the moment.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, every X number of years, we kind of go through a reset, and often that means new tools. React, I got to give them a lot of credit. They're being innovative and continuing to push the envelope.
1,000%.
And given that situation, they're also embracing this reset. So it's an opportunity for them to reinvent themselves. It's an opportunity for others like to get in and use Solid. As I said, So React has so many people in the community and the ecosystem. When I talk about ecosystem, that's what I think about, not about libraries. I'm not,
right,
as you
the
said,
community.
As you said, on the library front, I think you can come and pick up Solid today and you will find a lot of libraries and capability because, it's actually the people that take longer to build up over time rather than the libraries. You have component libraries now. You have a meta framework. You mentioned Solid Start. You can even build some mobile apps. It's actually really quite cool. 3D.
Really?
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
So far, it's just been stuff done in NativeScript. We don't have like a React Native port. I mean, someone was actually working on that as well.
That's awesome.
But you can basically. And there's Tori as well. You can basically set up Solid in these environments and build non-web applications. We have custom renderers. So we even have a port of 3JS, and that community has been picking up really quick.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, it kind of makes sense since 3JS is a performance-based. They're clearly interested in performance. You're clearly interested in performance with signals.
Exactly.
Right?
I think that's part of the appeal there because even like in React, when you use React 3 Fiber, you actually kind of opt out of the React state management because that render model is not performant enough for 3D.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe you can just use signals. It's pretty cool.
That's awesome. Yeah. So, okay, if I wanted to get started with Solid Start, what would I do today?
Yeah, there's two paths really, and I hope that there will be one path in the future. Today, the easiest way to get started is honestly just to get one of our Vite templates. You'll be able to just do a typical client-side rendered application.
So that'll give you the SPA.
Exactly, and we've been doing that for years now, and it's a great experience. You can get access to all the libraries in the ecosystem, and it's great. Alternatively, it's in beta. but we have Solid Start, which is kind of like our Svelte Kit Next.js remix kind of library. If you're a little bit more adventurous, you can get in there, do. It even supports client-side rendering as well, so it's actually a good stepping stone.
Yeah.
And even there, you get some benefits with file system routing if that's your thing. But then you can move on to doing full SSR apps.
Yeah, I gotta say, I've been using Solid Start, and it's just great. Why is it not released? I mean, I guess it seems like it's ready.
Yeah, and
what is lacking?
And there's big apps, even in production, using it now. We got a few of our earliest success stories, like one of those like new social media apps, Post.news.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, they have something. They have a decent number of signups. I don't know how many people use it daily. Twitter, going up
But
against
Twitter's doing its own, like, please leave the platform move.
But yeah, all built in Solid Start. Lovely app. I think for me, it's just that there's a lot of stuff in meta frameworks, and I just want to solidify a lot of the bugs. Like, there's a lot of edge cases, people who have mono repos on Windows. There's a lot of adapter-specific stuff, because when you take on a meta framework, you're not just deploying to one place. You're deploying to Netlify. You're deploying to Vercel, Cloudflare.
And now SST. I think SST has a pattern specifically for Solid.
Yep.
Awesome.
Right. So I've been trying to find ways to work actually with other meta frameworks to see if we can share that common underbelly, because it's a lot to maintain and work on. So
that's interesting. Okay.
We've been working closely with the Astro team, in fact.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
So the plan right now is, and this delayed our getting out of beta a little bit, is to actually share the same underlying deployment adapters with Astro.
That's great, because that benefits everybody, right?
Yeah.
And there are so many, like, we're getting kind of a bifurcation. Like, when it comes to React and the ecosystem, it's like there's React, and then there's, I guess, Preact in a certain way, and then there's kind of Angular and Vue, and then there's this kind of like plethora of ones, and it'd be great to have like something commonality there.
Right, and Astro is kind of like Switzerland, so to speak.
Yes.
You can use everything there.
Yeah.
So using their base deployment platform. It's great for us. We've been working closely with Tanner Lindsley of the React community, because he's written one of the best routers like out there with his new types router. But we're in a world now where React's telling you have to use a meta framework. Where does Tanner's router go? Well, it goes into probably another framework if that's where we're going. And in that case, he doesn't want to build all those adapters either. So we're all working together, and I think it's going to be really exciting, because it both serves as a place where we can all come together and do shared effort. And in the case of what we were talking about a few minutes ago, maybe it's a migration story. Maybe it's a way of going, like, I got my React app, I'm going to bring it here, and maybe I'm just going to throw up some pages in Solid right next to it. And Astro is a great home for that.
Yeah, speaking of migration stories, I mean, and just to finish off in terms of like what people can do with React and Solid today, I know the answer to this, but I'd love to hear from you that, like, if I have a React app and I don't necessarily want to go and report the whole thing tomorrow, like, can I just try out Solid within my React app?
Yeah, I actually did some work recently, which is really quite cool. We don't have React compat like the way that Preact. We can't. Our execution model is too different. But I've written some code. I haven't published the library yet, but I actually have examples where you can put Solid components. I haven't got SSR working yet, but for client-side apps, you can put Solid components right in your React app. You can even pass React children into the Solid components, like VDOM.
Seriously?
Children, and it works.
That's cool.
And context works between the Solid islands, so to speak. So you could build an app, and you can basically make a shared context where you feed that context both into a Solid component provider and a React provider, and then the Solid and React components underneath can share the same context.
Oh, that's awesome.
So
when you release that, I've got to do a video.
Yeah, the truth of the matter is the runtime stuff's pretty easy. I did it in about 50, 60 lines of code.
Yeah.
The challenge for the releasing is we need to play with bundlers, because you have two types of JSX in your project.
Oh, right.
So
yes.
We got to pick a target, because we could just say, like, here's a Webpack plugin. The reason I mentioned the SSR is because it'd be kind of nice if we could just go like, oh, you're using Next.js? Their stuff's all bundled in, and it'd be a very easy win if you can be like, yeah, you can just put your Solid components in Next.js. That would be a great story, and got to spend a little bit more time on it, but it is completely doable. And if you're so motivated, I was actually at a conference a couple weeks ago. Someone had actually come to me and told me that their company had done exactly that.
Really?
That they had put Solid in their Next.js apps, and they were very happy with it.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, I mean, definitely, if you're looking for straight perf, inside of a component, and you could literally basically do the MFE micro front end type deal with Solid inside of a React app.
Exactly, yeah, and micro front
You can do it today,
yeah,
but you can do it even better probably.
Right, exactly, yeah. You can. I saw your video on micro front end,
Oh.
and yeah, you showed using Solid and React together, and yeah, so that's always an option as well.
And of course, there's Astro. You can have just different islands and use nano stores.
Exactly, I love Astro. You picked it up.
Yeah, you know, it got nominated for best OSS. Best OS.
It actually won.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. It won. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, which is it's sweet. We won last year.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Awesome. Nice.
And, yeah. So it's good lineage, and actually Svelte won the year before. So
that is, yeah, right. If you're going to talk about like 3 of the top contenders of that tier, right? Absolutely. Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate the time. I really do.
Of course. Anytime, Jack.
Thanks for sticking around to the end of the interview. It was so much fun talking with Ryan and so many other folks at that conference. I really appreciate Git Nation and JS Nation and React Summit for having me out there. Of course, if you like the video, please hit that like button. And if you really like the video, hit the subscribe button and click on that bell. You'll be notified the next time a new Blue Collar Coder comes out.